family. It's time for Winedown with your host, Missy, and the Winedown Wednesday crew. Join us tonight as we discuss topics that affect families on a daily basis. So grab your glass, your cup, or even your blanket. Settle in on the couch and join us in the room as we go live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hola, family, and welcome back to another edition of Winedown Wednesday. We hope that you all had an amazing holiday break. We certainly did. We needed the time off to chill and relax and just be with family and host other family and shop for family and receive and just everything that however you celebrate it. We hope that it was absolutely amazing for you. We are back in the room for another edition with some very familiar faces. For those of you that are coming back to join us, welcome back. Any new viewers that we may gain in 2023, we say welcome home. I am Missy, otherwise known as Melissa Davis. I am a doula, certified doula, and the owner of Hands of Melody Doula Services. We service a wide area as of 2022. We are anywhere in the DMV area. We are in Southern PA, and we are also now in Decatur, Georgia, and Durham, North Carolina. So looking to expand to Kissimmee, Florida soon. So we'll keep you posted. But if you need our services, no matter where you are, if you reach out, our doula circle is quite large, and so we can refer you to qualified people in your area. So welcome back again. This show is designed for moms to put littles down, and if you don't have time to chat with us during the week, because we have several chats that we kind of do in this platform during the week, this platform is designed for those that can't join us during the day, but would like to join us in the evening with glass of something or a cup of something and just sit back, like on your couch, whatever. It's a very informal conversation. We do have topics of conversation, but we are not opposed to getting off the beaten path, which we have done. So I'm just going to warn you. But if you have questions, you can post them in the Facebook group and someone will respond to you, because we do have those that are monitoring the chat. And if you want to join us in the room, you can also let us know, and you can have the access to this Zoom room and come in and speak with us. But you do have to be camera on in this space so that we can identify and know who you are. But again, all of our contact information, along with all of our sponsors, and we have several sponsors now, will be at the end, and feel free to reach out to them. And if you don't catch it, this does come on rewind, and we can also put you in contact with our sponsors. So joining us in the room tonight, we have Nay and Rachel, we have TJ, Cherie, we have Sheen, and we have Sharon. So we all have littles under the age of 3. So it tells you what our lives look like and what our Christmas break look like. So tonight, for the first time, again, we are also looking forward to Wind Down. We did have an opportunity to get together over the break and fellowship with each other and kind of had some fun. For those of you that have watched before, you'll notice the intro, with the new intro at the end. That was kind of us just getting together and hanging out and laughing, which we needed to do, because motherhood is the most hood you'll ever be. We feel like we are like this gang. We talk about it all the time. The kids don't care. They jump us in, they jump us out. I don't know if you ever get jumped out, really. I think once you in, it's like what they say, ride or die for life. Like, that's where we are. So we had the topic this week, which is what we're going to talk about tonight. We talked about mom guilt, and we talked about like our toddlers winning, like, you know, after a while, something just hit that brain spot right at the right time. You just like, here, take whatever you want. I don't even care whether it's good for you, whether you should have it, whether it's age appropriate. Like, sometimes we just don't care because we need 5 minutes, and then we feel real guilty. So let's talk about what that looks like, because mom guilt a lot of times shouldn't be a thing. Now, I'm not saying no mom should ever feel guilty, because that's not what I'm saying. Like, there's some out there that you really got to just rethink your whole mom life. But for the day-to-day, did they have all 5 food groups on the plate? Did they eat them all? No. Like, no. Did they do their shirts match their pants? It's 2 degrees outside. Did I put a t-shirt on? Are you riding in the car seat with a coat on? Like, Do you have the iPad and have you had it for over an hour? Probably, and it's okay. The things like that are not the real things that I think we should be concerned about. Not that I'm not, because I got toddlers as well. And you go back and be like, dang, I could have did that again. Or you're like, everybody hush. And you're like, did I just yell? Oh my God, I'm sorry. You're human and you got to give yourself grace. So I like the fact that since that chat, we have been in our group talking about the mom wins, sharing dinner plates, who got the babies to eat what, who didn't get the babies to eat what, somebody's baby went to the potty, somebody's baby went to bed on time. Like, we're going to start celebrating the small wins. Let's celebrate the small wins. Let's not look at motherhood in general based off of one thing that you did think that you could do better. So who wants to start with their mom win for the last couple of days? Who? Come on, y'all. Everybody done had some wins.
I can go with mine because I'm just excited.
Yes.
For the last, what's today? Wednesday. For the last 3 days now, I have been putting my baby down, and she actually okay, so let me back up what I mean by putting her down. Before the last 3 days, my putting her down consisted of me, bath time, story time, sitting in the bed with her, waits till she falls asleep on me, and then wait another hour to make sure she's snoring before I put her in the crib. So my evenings were very hard, and I oftentimes wasn't done until close to 10. But for the last couple of days, something's told me on Monday, try to put her down when she first lays her head down on you, because she already sleepy. Let's see how this goes. Something, I don't know, maybe it was God put it in my head and said, let's try something different today, Sheree, it's time. Yeah. And so I did it, and she went in her crib and went to sleep. Who knew?
Mom went.
Right. And for the last 3 days, she has been going in her crib. And today was even more like her being awake, because she wasn't even that sleepy, because before I picked her up, she was pointing at something. I said, no, it's time to go to sleep. I'm gonna put you on your crib now. And I picked her up, put her in the crib, put a blanket on her, and walked out the room. I couldn't believe it. She didn't even scream. And for all y'all who didn't know, I have struggled since she's been born with her screaming at night, waking up all hours of the night, hanging on titty all night. Like, this has been almost 2 years of struggle, and I think I'm through it. So that's my mom win.
Yay, Sheree! We so excited. Wait, that's you had awesome. Another mom win with dinner time. We were just talking about.
Yes. So the dinner time tonight, I made chicken lo mein and I made egg rolls from scratch. And I gotta say, I redeemed myself from them nasty smothered turkey wings I made last week. Them things was nasty, but this dinner tonight was good. And not only was it good, my baby ate the noodles, y'all. Now, again, for everybody who don't know, my baby doesn't eat. She lives on fruit, cheeses, pouches, and yogurt. And the oops berries. That's all she wants all day long. That's all she is. So tonight, for her to actually eat something that was actually cooked and not come in a package, like, I can't. I'm just so excited about it. I even text her father and said, "Oh my God, I know this food is good because Gigi ate it."
Yay! So awesome. 2 mom wins, like.
Yep. Y'all, one day.
That's for new parents or struggling parents. We'll take it. Like, because there are nights where milk and Cheez-Its or milk and a half a piece of a granola bar or yogurt is all they got for the whole day. So, like, that's a huge, huge, huge mom win. So we're going to celebrate those and not ding ourselves for the nights that they got just the yogurt or a pouch or whatever, because those things are good in a pinch. And a lot of toddlers go through it. And for y'all that have good eaters, celebrate those good eaters, because not all of us have good eaters.
Yeah. So, and I ain't gonna lie, sometimes when I when some of the ladies post in our chat, my baby today ate that whole plate. I'm like babies eating that whole plate. Wow. Like, it's mind blowing. Like, what?
Yes. Absolutely.
Mhm. Mhm.
That a mom
Well, sure.
win. Go ahead, Sharon.
No, I was just gonna say, Sheree, I want to go back to the first moment. I do admire you. That is awesome. I'm going to try to follow your lead because I was doing like you're doing. Like I literally will rock her to sleep with a bottle. I want her pacifier to fall out her mouth, and then I know she goes limp, and then I know I can put her in the bed and she's asleep. And so, but sometimes she'll wake up as soon as I move her to put her in the crib, and then here we go. We got to start another 30 minutes. So yeah, I could easily be there 2 hours, but they're trying to put her down. So I will take your lead and try to put her down when she first, shows those signs of sleepiness, and then see what she does, and hopefully she won't scream.
Yeah. Good luck on that. Because I'm telling you, it has been since March 18th, 2021. This is what I've been going through. No sleep.
Mm.
I was there with
Wow.
you,
Yeah.
Cherie, for a long time, and then I feel like I upgraded to I'll let you start falling asleep in my arms. I'll put you in the bed, and I'll go back and sit in the chair. So if you happen to lift your head up, you see that I'm still in the room. So we did that for a long time, up until I think a couple of weeks ago, a couple of days ago, actually. He starts saying bed, and I'm like, oh, wait, you're asking to go to your bed? I'm like, oh, okay. So I put him in his bed, and he'll lay down, and I'm like, wait, like, I'm not gonna rock you no more? Or because then he went from like laying normally to like turning all over so now I'm uncomfortable, and his bed is comfortable because he wants to stop fidgeting. So, and then tonight he was in bed by 8, like, okay, bed. I was like, oh, bye, peace out, homie.
We'll
Knock
take it.
yourself out. So Sharon, maybe try that. Like put her in first and then sit in the chair in the room with her. So you're not holding her, because that helped me, because I was like, I'm not gonna leave and have you holler and scream, but when I see that you're falling asleep, I'll put you in your crib. And I did that for a good year solid.
Wow.
And we just started where he's asking to be put in his bed. So,
Wow.
yep.
Yeah, because Eva's definitely doing some yoga poses. She does a downward dog. She lifts up her leg. She's going right side, left side, jumping out my lap.
Yep,
Picking
that's
up something off the
that's
floor.
the sign. It's coming. It's coming. That's literally what it was. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Just go to sleep. And he's like, and he would pick his blanket, like I'm like, just go. And me not getting the hint of you're the problem. Put him in the bed.
Right.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm. I told I was telling Cherie and Nate before we got on, like today, well, last night was 2 days in a row that it did not take Shay 2 hours to fall asleep. Thank God it took like 30 minutes each time, but each time it's a different trick. So it's lay her down, mama, and she's yelling at the camera because they didn't figure that out. Mama, come there. I need water. Okay, I give you water. Come back. Mama, I need chapstick of all things. So I gave her chapstick. Then go back. Like it was just this back and forth. I was like, I'm just gonna give her whatever she asked for, so she'll go to sleep. She finally went to sleep. Last night, I was like at my wits' end. I was like, come on, baby. I said, do you want my sweater? Because I had wrapped her in it earlier. I was like, do you want my sweater? She was like, yes. I gave her my sweater. Then the other baby says, Mommy, I have a sweater. So I went and got her a sweater and laid it over both of their blankets. Them jokers pulled it up and went to sleep. Really? Okay. So that was the last 2 nights. I don't know what's going to happen tonight because, Dad and big sister are putting them down. So hopefully but whatever it is, it's okay to be frustrated because they won't go to sleep. Because by the time it's time for them to go to sleep, you're tired. Like, should you feel guilty for being tired, like overly tired, touched out, talked out, text out, whatever, being everything for everybody? Or is it okay for you to feel that way sometimes too? But check yourself. Like, and it's okay sometimes, like, don't nobody else say mommy. Like, say that, like, I'm changing my name. And yeah, you raised your voice. They ain't dead. Like, you ain't got to scream and holler at them every day all the time. But if you like have a moment, take your break. And I've told my husband, it's your turn. Like, hey,
my mom guilt came from months ago, like when he was younger and I had him on a sleep schedule, when everybody used to be like, oh, really? Like, you're so straight. And I'm like, I need my me time and I need him to get on a schedule to know at so and so time we wake up to go to daycare. So, for your sake and your daycare teacher's sake, I'm going to put you to bed early enough. So, but for me, I was just like, dang, like, am I doing something wrong or whatever? I'm like, no, he's fine. Like, he'll be okay. And that was, I was letting society and pressure make me feel like I wasn't doing the right thing because my kid is not staying up until, 11, 12 o'clock at night. And I'm like, I can't function that late because he wants to be on me all the time. No.
Yeah. Don't let nobody else's way of life make you feel guilty. I'm
That's
sorry.
hard.
I understand that,
That's
but
hard.
but it's also so for the person that has the mother-in-law or the cousin or the aunt or whatever that's talking to you about breastfeeding, like you should feed that baby. That baby hungry. That baby need cereal in the milk, which drives me to drink. But that baby needs cereal in the milk. Baby 4 weeks old. We talking about cereal in the milk. That's why they're not sleeping. No, they're not sleeping because they're newborns. They don't need no cereal in that milk. Put them down. Do whatever. You don't know, and they don't remember. Because for my 35-year-old, I can't tell you what worked for him at this point because they're different. Like this generation is totally different. So for me to try to give you breastfeeding or any other information from the 35-year-old, unless it was like big things, like life-changing things, that stuff you remember. But like how late he slept or how early he went to bed or how often he woke up or how much he ate or how much milk I got out of, like, for me to tell you that is unfair, one. And then two, it's not your journey. It's absolutely not your journey. So me making you feel guilty, that's not your issue. That's on me. It really is.
You sorry, you a fraud.
With froze, yeah.
You a
Did.
fraud.
That's why I made Rachel host, because internet don't like me tonight. But I can't make you feel guilty based on what I did for a 35-year-old, and you got this 2-year-old, 1-year-old.
I'm going to share something about this mom guilt because I do struggle with it. First, I want to say that when I first became a mother, before I became a mother, or before I birthed a baby, let me say it like that, I had all the ideas of what I need to do as a mother. I had it all figured out. My whole life was figured out. I'm a very planned and black and white person. Everything is on a timeline. Everything is on schedule. That's just my personality. Kind of anal about stuff. So then when I became a mother and I birthed a baby, and this baby would not do what I want her to do when I want her to do it and not be on my timeline, then I still feel this way to some extent. I feel like I'm not doing things right because then you hear all the noise around you, like, the guidelines say that your child should have, these many words, or the guidelines say that your child should be saying these words. Like sometimes when I get around y'all's kids and they're speaking in like complete sentences and my child is just saying and smiling, I'm like, oh my God, what did I do wrong? Let me read more books. Let me go buy this, And so it's guilt on that. So it's guilt from like all the rules that you have to follow. And then it's guilt from comparison. And then it's guilt from like my ideal of the perfect mother was my mother. And I know for a fact that if she was here, she would say, honey, I wasn't perfect. I know she would say that. But in my view of my mother, who had 5 kids, and I'm struggling with 1, okay, and she had 5, and that 5 was twins because I'm a twin. It's from my vantage point growing up, it looked like she had it all together. Like she did everything. And now I think back on how she ran that house versus how I run this house. It's like, dang, she did this perfectly. But I know she didn't, because she even told us when we were growing up, the doctor told her, don't eat with us anymore. Stop eating dinner with us, because she was having postpartum depression and she was going through it. And so she shared that with me. So I know she didn't have it all figured out, but from my vantage point, she was a perfect mom. And I want to be like that. And so when I'm tired, or when my baby don't say too many words, or when she ain't eating, or, I'm just now figuring out how to put her down, her hair, all the things that you got to worry about, like all these things. Plus I have a full-time job, and it's like, oh.
But Cherie, it's like anything else, it's in context. I can give you, so for me, this is my Christian belief, from cover to cover, the word is the word. But if I give you scripture out of context, it can make it a lie, and it can make it, not make sense. It can make, so many things. So when you look at somebody on Facebook and they got 80 ounces of milk, it looked like their breastfeeding journey is like, whoa. But they don't tell you this is 80 ounces from the last 2 weeks. This is all I've been able to get. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you got to put things into context sometimes. And I think with us having so much access to Facebook and Instagram and all of these things, we are so comparative to other people. The people down the street got a bigger house. My house not as big as people down the street. People down the street drive a Mercedes. I'm driving a Honda Accord. Like you're always gonna look. You're always gonna look and see who has bigger and better, and who's doing more and more. But honestly, the person that's a billionaire probably was bankrupt God knows how many times. The person that is the pumping wizard at one point in time, maybe with their first baby, maybe they're on the second or third baby, maybe they didn't get that milk production. Like whatever it is, if it's out of context, it looks grand, because it does me no good to have a Mercedes Benz in my driveway, but every month I'm sitting down trying to figure out how to make the payments. That's out of context. You looking at it, but you don't know the struggle. So your mom shared a little bit of her struggle with you, and you kind of understand now as a mom, like, wow, postpartum, like, oh my God. Like, you know what I'm saying? So in your journey, how many times have you cried out of sight of Gigi? How many times have you been riding in your car and thinking and comparing yourself to other people? And like you said, like really struggling with whatever. But when Gigi grows up, she's going to remember that mommy wanted me and her to be best friends. Like we used to dress alike, and she'll hate it when she's a teenager. I'm just going to tell you, she will try to burn the picture. So put them in a box. Like, but then when she gets to be your age, or when she becomes a mother, and she was like, oh God, like my mother went out of her way to make sure that we were close and we were best friends. And that's what she's going to remember. And then she's going to compare her motherhood journey to that. So we can't share everything with our children. Like by no means should we, but sometimes it's okay to let them see you sad, because mommy gets sad too. It's okay to let them see you happy. It's okay to let them in as they get older on smaller things, so that they understand, yeah, we all might struggle, but there's an overcoming period as well. And let them see you as being human, and not this scene out of Ghost where the thing come out and the light shining on him and he on his way up the stick. Like life ain't always like that. So you're an amazing mom, like an amazing, all of us know you're an amazing mom, but Gigi just trying to assert the upper hand. It's that alpha female thing that we go through, and you just go out to show her, no, I'm mommy in this group, boo. That's what you go out to show her.
And some of the things that I say is, man, them women back in the 50s and 60s and heck in the 80s, yeah, they had 6 kids, but at the end of the day, by the time you have 2, those first 2 are going to help take care of the other 4.
That's true.
So
my sister sure taught me how to read.
So,
my older sister.
It might look like if
they had maids
but mom is
that
just
helped out,
being authoritative, and she's utilizing the first 2 or the first 3 to help take care of the rest of the bunch. So it makes it a little bit easier on her. But one of the things I was doing recently, right now, I'm actually reading a book, and it's called Get Unrealistic. And in the book, it actually says that right now, the world wants our children to grow up faster than what they should be. And by exposing them to too much, by telling them they have to do too many things above their age, too fast. So when we talk about, Cherie spoke about the guidelines said this, and the guideline says that. It's just a guide. It is just a guide to say you can get to this level, but the guidelines also don't tell you all the things that you can do, or all the pitfalls you can have, or all the things the guidelines doesn't say that. It just says by this age, some kids are able to say this. And the guideline puts you in a category of the some kids that's able to do this. And it turns into, oh my God, because I fell into that same pitfall, Cherie. At 18 months, I didn't find my baby was given 10 whole words. And I was like, no, we got to get some evaluation going on. And I went through the whole rigmarole. Come to find out the child was ahead of wherever she is, because she's also learning different, baby sign language, and she's learning French, and she's learning French Creole. She's learning a lot of things. And they're like, it's going to take some time because she's learning so much. Her little brain can't process it that fast. So she's trying to figure it out. Just give it some time. And I'm like, but what the book said, lady, if you don't get out my office, I feel like if they didn't tell me that, get out my office.
Burn the book.
But I was serious about that, because that's what y'all said. Y'all said at this age, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And we do feel really guilty, and we do feel like if we're not doing something properly because of that damn book. Like, who wrote that book?
I don't know, because they didn't interview my kids, because I can't find them nowhere on the page. I can't.
And I agree with what Nay said. And I think that adds to a significant amount of mom guilt, is us not enjoying. And I had said this to my husband a long time ago, the moment that our kid is in. So take, for example, when your kid starts to crawl, you're like, oh, my baby is crawling. You excited about it for that one moment when you want to capture in a video or whatever, but blink. When is he walking? Come on, stand up, time to walk. We're always quick to move them into the next thing. You're not even like giving them a second to be in this and let's revel in this. Like, crawling, I'm gonna show you how to crawl like a pro. How about you speed crawl? Like whatever. And then, okay, when you're ready, you go to the next one. But we're so focused on, oh, you have to do this, you have to do we're already starting them competing and doing all these things that they don't even. And then we put the guilt on ourselves. It's like, oh, but he's not walking yet. Wait, he just started crawling last night. Like, what? Yeah. Because I know I was doing that to myself. Like, you want to get your kid to be like that smart kid, that excellent kid. And you're like, wait a second. Like, I'm really trying to just figure out the world. I'm trying to see what color is red and blue. And you're telling me to play the violin? Like, what?
Yeah.
I read ourselves, and society puts it out there for us. Sorry, TJ, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, I'm not sure if I either read it or someone said to me. They said to me once, at some point in your child's life, you will pick your child up for the last time, and neither you nor your child will know when that moment happens. It will be a surprise to both of you. And there's a lot of, don't get this twisted, I got so much mom guilt, I got it coming out of my ears. But the one thing that I have let go of is making him do stuff. That's the one thing I've let go of. So like at daycare, and other people kind of be like, oh my God, and someone else, that some child guru that my husband has told me about. They're like, I don't do anything for my toddler that my toddler can do for themselves. And that allows them to be this independent, a wonderful person. Let me tell you something. Even though he can basically dress himself, I put his clothes on him every morning. I put all his clothes on him. I take all his clothes off at night. If he has to go to the bathroom and he's at home, I pull down his pants for him. Yes, I give him the opportunity. I always give him the opportunity to do it. But if he wants mommy to do it for him, I'm like, you know what? He's going to be two one time. And in 10 years, my old butt is going to be like, I wish I had a 2-year-old. So
and that's facts.
Yeah, so at this point, like there's so many things I want to release that I haven't yet, but that one thing I release and I remind myself sometimes. I have to remind myself that I released because when I get to daycare and I'm dropping him off and did he put his jacket up by himself? No, he did not. I put it
So
on.
TJ, I have to squeeze the pouch, even though my kid knows darn well how to squeeze a pouch. Squeeze.
Exactly.
Like,
You know what? And
Those
and,
are
and
all
I do the same thing with his yogurt pouch. Do you need mommy to fix it for you? Yes, so we can get all the yogurt out. I will fix it. I'm not. You know what?
And I'm gonna tell you, some
He'll
of
be
that
two
comes with
sometime.
age too, because some of it and succession of children. So first baby, only baby, yes, you are relishing every moment, especially if it's the only one you planning to have. We're gonna get all this juice out of you that we can get. We're gonna be every 2-year-old moment. We're gonna take every picture. We go all of this stuff. But the succession of children will also be like, whew, I done that. Like, I'm not doing that. Like today, I've already done that. Like, well, all right, come on. You need to hurry learn how to take these pants off because mama old. But again, it's because I have squeezed it all out of the other 6. And so now these 2, I'm like, your mama, you know I'm old. Why are you doing this? Come on, take your pants off. What are we doing? And mama's tired. So you do, and you have to know your children, because some children are like, they crawl before they walk before they crawl. And then some is like, why am I gonna get up and walk when I can crawl faster? Like, what, so you got to know your kids, and don't overdo. Don't push them to, because some of these real smart genius kids, these savants and all these people, you go back and listen, some of them had some of the saddest upbringing childhoods because they were so smart, people forgot they were children.
Yep.
And focused on their talent or their ability. You are real good at playing piano. You're picking up piano real good. We in piano lessons 5 days a week. You going to this concert, you going to this school, you going to this, you going to this. And now there's no playing with my friends. There's no sleepover. There's no time to learn how to do the playground and the slide and all of that, because you become your gift or your talent. We can't do that either. Like, I say all the time, we don't know how to balance as a society. It's way up here or way down here. There's no middle ground for a lot of things. And so mom life really has to be about finding balance. Okay, today was a win. You ate dinner. Tomorrow, you don't want to eat, take this Pediasure. You don't want to eat, get this good cup of milk. You don't want to eat, come get this yogurt. But you got food in your belly. Like, that's what we doing. Or am I gonna make you scream and holler and cry and sit in a high chair or on my lap or at the table for 2 hours till all the food is gone, or till it's cold, and now you're eating cold food, which is what a lot of us had to do. You was not getting up from the table until you cleared your plate. Now we're speaking into obesity. Now we're speaking into unhealthy eating habits. Like, we don't know how to kind of find balance. And if we can't balance, our kids can't balance, because our balance is how they learn balance. So you got to celebrate the wins. And as Cherie says all the time in our meetings, you got to find your one thing. Whatever your obsessive compulsive thing is going to be, that one thing that is what it is. You can't obsess about everything. You can't be obsessed about the diapers and the milk and the bath time and the bedtime routine, and do they match, and whether or not they taking their shoes and throwing them in the car. Like, you can't obsess about everything, because your whole life will be an obsession and you'll be sad. Like, we can't obsess about, yes, she gonna take her shoes off. I'm gonna find a sock up here and a shoe back there. And I'm tired of fussing at you. Don't take your shoes off in the car. It is what it is. We're gonna get there 5 minutes early because I gotta find shoes and the socks, and we gotta put them back on. Find the one thing. What about you, Sheen? Any wins this week? What we doing?
So y'all know I didn't put Jax in his crib, and it has gotten much better. It went from him hollering for almost 2 hours before he finally laid down, waking up hollering, and I was getting him out of his crib. Well, after that third wake up, I was like, just come on, because I need some sleep, and you do too. But last night, put him down. Well, Jean put him to sleep. laid him in his crib, and I was like, okay. Now y'all know my baby's sick, so he was coughing all night, and so I knew he was gonna wake up. So every time I heard him cough, of course I jumped up. Eventually, I kind of just passed out because I was like, okay, if you haven't got up now, you're not waking up. My alarm went off at 6:50 this morning, and I jumped up, and I was like, look around. He in his crib, and I'm in my bed, and ain't nobody in my bed. I was so happy, y'all. I was so happy. I was like, we have definitely came a
And
long
you had that good
way.
coma sleep too.
I was.
Yeah, that's that good sleep.
Good.
That sounds like a good morning for circus tricks.
And then he didn't even want to wake up. I was trying to wake him up, and he was pushing me away. He was like leave me alone. I'm like, no, we gotta get ready for daycare. He was mad. He was some kind of mad. I turned that light on. He covered his face and just started crying. He was not trying to wake up. I said, okay, I need you to do that again tonight.
So how's it going?
He still woke. He upstairs hollering right now.
Don't worry about it, because I just heard mine go past the door to go upstairs. So.
But we don't put him down until about around 10:30.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So.
And that's another thing. If that works for you, like I've had people to say, girl, that baby need to be in the bed 7:30, 8 o'clock. No, because
You'd be good and tired.
I don't like the sunlight first thing in the morning. Like my 7 a.m. is 10. So if they go to bed a little bit later, they're going to get up a little bit later. And that works in my house. Like we had one of our other moms says that, like he can pass out when he passed out because I sleep real late. So he sleep. Whatever works for you, they need to get a good night's rest. Whether that night is before midnight that they fall asleep and after 12 o'clock tomorrow they wake up, whatever it is, as long as they get their hours in that they need so they can be healthy and moving forward. Don't tell nobody, don't let nobody, they're not going down to 7:30 in my house, because then that means they're going to be up at 6. You not going to be knocking on my door or hollering in the camera
He stopped
at
napping.
6 o'clock.
If mine go down at 7:30, he gonna wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, like, hey, what's going on?
Girl,
like,
Steven, stop napping. This joker said, you know what? Naps ain't for me no more. So that's that. I'm praying for you, Cherie, that you, because it seems like you got Steven Jr. over there, not Cherie Jr. And I'm praying that you don't, because the progression from I refuse to go to sleep has turned into, all right, I'll go to sleep, but I got you on them naps. I got you. So that means that like after daycare, I got grumpy baby every night, every day is grumpy baby.
Well, I think grumpy baby is because of your mom. I'm convinced.
No. I mean, because he hasn't slept. No,
yeah, because your mom. I bet if somebody else
even when he goes to
behind.
daycare.
Oh, he's grumpy at day. Okay.
He don't nap there either. Huh?
What time
At least he has to be in bed by 8. If I can't, even if he doesn't go to sleep, he goes to bed at 8. But when he doesn't nap in daycare, I mean, you know, like you have your problems. You know the nighttime routine. You have your problems, but once I can get him asleep, he's all night asleep. But he's a he's a person who I don't want to hang out with.
Thank you, because you know I was going there with you. Leave my baby alone. Leave my baby alone.
He's the person I don't necessarily want to hang out with by the time he get home from daycare, because he be, oh my God, the attitude be on 120. It's like,
yeah, because he's tired.
He just don't sleep.
I find that the attitude, because I have that too with her, but it's me, because like, you know, the people, Miss Cookie and them, they'll be like, she was fine today. She had her nap, she ate, she played good. They told me today, they said she gonna go to sleep good. She gets home and 8 times out of 10, she gives me hell. Whether that's throwing food or whether that's just getting mad that I won't give her my phone, which we need to have a whole series about this addiction to electronics.
Jesus, yes.
Because this is out of control. So I'm going to stop giving her my phone so much. And I was doing it just because I thought she was playing with it. But now it's like a drug for her, like a dopamine hit or something.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So, but if I don't give her my phone, that's a whole fight. And my daughter goes to sleep around 8:30 is really her time. Today, she was down at like 8:10. So I was really winning today. But
All
8:30
day.
is really her time. And same thing as Sheena's son. She doesn't want to wake. This is the funny part though. She doesn't want to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning when we got to get up, right? But if you let us sleep, like on Saturday, sleep in, so we're past 6 o'clock, she wakes up by 7:15. She is bright and up and screaming, get me out this crib. She will not let us sleep in. And me and her father be like, listen, go back to sleep, lay back down. She'll lay back down. You hear her over there whining, then she hop back up. And don't let me pull the covers off of me because I'm hot or something, or do any type of movement.
You getting up.
Yeah, she pops back up. And so it's funny because I'm like, what I do to her, 6 o'clock in the morning, I cut the lights on. Cut the lights on that butt. And she goes like this, she turns around, and then I start rubbing her back. I take off her cover, I tickle her feet. She is so hot. She has fish grease in the morning. And then
my grandmother used to say that. That is funny. Oh, I get it. So my girls sleep in noise. Like they have a fan in their room, and they have their, like, I'm not gonna mention her name because she's gonna cut on, but my friend back here plays sleep sounds
Alex
for them at night. Yes. So I cut everything off in their room. And so the silence, they be up. They be like, even if they want to like cover their heads up and lay back down, then they'll start whining if they're not ready to get up. But the silence wakes them up. And then so like that.
Same over here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But Shay is not, do you hear me? Not a morning person. She hates to go to sleep at night, and she hates to wake up in the morning, and she fusses the first hour that she's woke. On the other hand, her sister starts off with a smile like, hi, mommy. 30 minutes in, she like, nope, never mind, I ain't get all my sleep out. So we just gonna have to. So they are totally opposite. I'm not a morning person either. My husband, on the other hand, wakes up. He's like, babe, and he's talking, and he's just like, pop up, that. And here we go. He's one of them early morning. I hit the gym. That's not me. And so he's like, you okay? You're not saying nothing. Boo. My brain is not on. Don't let my eyes being open fool you into thinking that I am woke. It's going to take me a good half hour, 45 minutes before my brain says, we really woke? Like, are you sure we woke? But he is like automatically, like, you turn over, open your eyes, he ready for a full conversation. That is not the system. It's not.
I feel like we married to the same Andre, Melissa, and they can both go jump on a boat.
Bon voyage.
It's funny because that's me. In my household, I'm the morning person.
Oh,
so yeah, I'm a morning person. I'm up. I'm getting it. Like I see that.
See
but
that.
Night
I see your face and your smile first thing in the morning.
And I be trying to talk in the morning. And Cindy be like,
is your sister the opposite?
No, she's a morning person as well. My twin sister, actually all of my siblings. We're all morning people. All of us. I don't know why we're just early morning cartoons, and now it's funny because we'll all get on conference calls at like 7 o'clock in the morning or 7:15 in the morning. All of my siblings, we'll all three-way each other and get us all on the phone and talk. Just talk about nothing.
No.
So I'm gonna tell you now. I'm gonna throw this out there.
Don't you dare call me at that time. Right?
I know all
my
friends told me that. They said don't call, because I used to call them early.
No, trip, Sheree.
It better be important.
Get me after y'all come back from breakfast. If we ever do a girls trip, y'all get up, go to breakfast, and y'all come get me around brunch time. Don't do it.
No, I'm gonna be knocking on your door, because let me tell you something.
No, you won't. No, you won't. No.
With my friends,
no.
They hate it. Because I always have to do, let me tell you, when I go on vacation, I wake up at the crack because I do sunrise yoga. You know how they have yoga on a resort. So I wake up early, go to sunrise yoga, then I'll go to a workout. And it's not like I work out all the time.
Cool, if you wake me up and you take me to the gym, I'll go with you. But you gotta go with me to the gym. You gotta be with them. You be there with me the whole time. Even if I ain't doing it, but looking at my cell phone, you got sitting there with me.
Listen, I'll do it because that's what I like. It's weird. I'm kind of weird because on vacation I'll do it, right? But at home,
but then I gotta have somebody make me an omelet.
Oh, then we go on to breakfast afterwards. Like literally.
Directly to
But the
breakfast.
problem is I go to sleep early.
Mhm.
And that's what Sydney hates. I go to sleep early.
What's early for you?
Early.
Okay, before my baby, I would put it like this. When I was dating Sydney, when we were dating, right?
Uh-oh.
I would be falling asleep on the phone talking to him at like 9:30. Like 9:30,
Girl, bye.
10 o'clock. I'm falling asleep on the phone. And even when we went on vacation, when we went to Jamaica, when we went to Jamaica a few years ago, not last year when we took the family, but just me and him went, he was so mad at me because I would wake up, go do my sunrise yoga and stuff, and come back to the room to get him for breakfast. But at night, he wanted to go to the beach parties and the stuff that they have at night. Out cold. I'm out, can't even move. Out.
No
Yes.
midday nap.
No, I'm on
I can hang out with you all night, but once my eyes close, don't you mess with me till I open them on my own.
Yeah.
So I, on the other hand, during vacation, I'm gonna do sunrise yoga and late night beach party, but in the middle of the day,
You gonna take
I'm
that
dead
nap?
sleep. I'm taking
I
a
can't
nap.
take naps. I can't
Oh
take
no,
naps.
I don't normally
I'm going
nap.
hard to
But
9
when
o'clock
you
and then
add
I'm
the
out.
quantity of alcohol
Not
and
hard to
sun that I
nap.
need during vacation, a nap that's the equation. It's like alcohol, sun, nap.
I'm gonna take me a good nap on the beach in the lounge chair with the ocean, listening to the ocean. I'm good.
Mhm.
I get a good
Yeah, I
hour
might do
in.
that.
An hour
But
nap, but then I'm going back to my hotel room where it's cool and I'm air conditioning. I'm taking another nap at that. And if it's a couple's vacation, I might have some circus tricks and then a nap. But either way, the nap is happening.
No.
Wow. No,
Okay,
I go
where
hard from
so
sun
where
up to
all our
sundown.
kids while we on the beach and drinking and the early moonrise and circus tricks in the afternoon and then like parties at night? Where all of our kids? Because y'all talking like we all single and ain't got not chick nor
That's
child.
what resort daycare is for.
It's a dream. It's a dream.
Well, I'm assuming that when we're finding a child-free location and my child is in the States, this is what I'm assuming with his grandmother.
Okay.
Or
I'm just questioning because I
hire
No,
a
I'm not
babysitter.
vacationing.
A location that has
Listen,
childcare. I've seen some of
who?
those.
Yes.
see, I'm skeptical about. I
Who
would have
does?
mom guilt about that because I don't really know these people, and I don't know how long you've been at the
Yeah,
resort.
but
And I don't.
you could check
Yeah.
them. You could check them out, like read up on them and all that kind of stuff.
You know, I
Like,
just got
okay,
invited to
you know, where's their
man.
liability? You know, all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Can
Nah,
we put
he's staying with
together
grandma.
and take a babysitter that's responsible for all the kids and while
You
we
can.
I'm
I'm at-
down. I need to
For
I need
that.
to do
y'all ain't
something.
said nothing
I'd
but
be
a word.
down, especially if we got a babysitter. Maybe we have
Yeah.
all put in, hire a few nannies to come with us, you know,
I
and
prefer
Do I
that.
gotta take my dude? I want
No,
him to
you ain't
stay
gotta
here.
take your kid, but
I
just the
want him to
thought of
stay
it, I
here.
feel like some of my
You don't have to take them.
some of my mom guilt dissuading, like with the thought of being able to
You know,
lay
I
on a beach
feel you
with my
on
brother.
that, but I am learning from you guys. What do they say? What do they say? A wise man learns from a smart man learns from his own mistakes.
I'm
but a
liking
wise,
Tamila's reverse psychology over
I
here.
know, right?
like a wise man learns from others. Like I've
Uh-huh.
been listening to all you ladies and your
Uh-huh.
vacations
Huh?
with your babies. And for me, it sounds like it's been beautiful, lovely, wonderful picture opportunities. But when the, you know what it's called, when the I'm trying not to use the curse word here, when the turf meets the road, it seems like it was a really stressful event, and almost all of y'all came back with, "Oh man, never again."
Oh, I don't care. I put my girls in the plane in a minute.
No,
wouldn't say
not never go
never.
anywhere with your baby, but never take them on a out of country excursion, especially
say
Nikki. She was like, "Oh no, he'll never go to Jamaica ever again." So I'm like, good to
wouldn't
know.
say that. It's just different. I wouldn't say it was for me. It wasn't for me. I was stressful because of my list, and y'all. I mean, all the things, right? If I wasn't
Stressed her own
me,
self out.
yeah, I stressed my own self out because for her, she's pretty straightforward. I mean, she's a really, you know, she does the same thing all the time. You give her daggone cheeses and her squeeze pouches, she's fine. You know, it's me. And so I wouldn't say it was a horrible trip. It was just different. Now, my issue is the guilt I have if I leave her. And that's what I'm actually trying to figure out right now in January, what trips I'm going to do this year. And I have an opportunity to go on a girls' trip to Greece this fall for my friend's
Mm.
birthday. Yeah, they had already planned it. I told them I wasn't going to go, but now I'm having second thoughts, like maybe I
Go.
should go.
Go.
But then, but hang on. But then we got to figure out, what we doing with the baby every day. Not so much the boys because they're older, but like the baby. Okay, Sydney works at night, so what does that look like? How does what we're gonna do? So I'm trying to figure that out in my brain to see if I'm going to even go. And then once I get there, am I going to be calling here, all the time, trying to micromanage from all across the world?
Of course you are.
Yes, you
but
are.
yeah, you are.
course
You're
you
gonna try
are.
to micromanage it all. You're gonna be like, wait a minute.
Have you met
It's
yourself?
10:59.
Of course
Has
you
she
are.
had her?
Well, look,
Before
City told me if I do go and have fun. Don't you be calling checking up on what I'm doing like I don't know what I'm doing.
So before my
She gonna be like, listen, you don't know what you're doing though.
said to me was, if ever you need to, because she knows it's just my husband and I, and my family's out of state. But if ever I need to go on vacation, she always gave me the option of, I can the option of leaving the kids with her for a couple of days for us to just get away. And she said, I understand the married life. I'm a married woman. So if you need the babies to stay somewhere, I can watch the babies. Of course, it'll come at an extra fee because now she's all day. So she would have an extra fee. But yeah, that's what it was. So I would say talk to your daycare provider. Maybe they'll able to work with you.
For me, I did talk to them. They
It
said
sounds
they
like your
okay.
daycare provider will
And
be
they say
excited
go,
to have
didn't
her.
they? Look, see, they told you to go. You better go on somewhere.
I spoke to them yesterday and they said, Cherie, because Miss Cookie was like, oh, I might have to get up early. She was like, but that's okay. It's only for a week. If you want to go, that's fine. Because
if you don't book your flights to
Girl.
Greece, like
So Cherie,
right
when you
now,
get off this call, you need to be like, listen, how much it gonna cost me to get to
I'm
Greece?
still thinking
What's
about
I
it.
got invited to a
cheapest
destination wedding.
flights?
I'm trying my best to go.
You
And I
better
ain't
grab
taking
your
him
little
with
bag
me.
and go. Like,
You
hey,
better, yes, you better go. Greece, girl.
Yeah,
You
so
take a
that's
dream a dream.
some places.
So
Go
like, are
ahead
you
and book
going
your
to
trip.
the necklace? What is it called?
You talking about me?
Yeah, in Greece. There's a
They're going on it's going to be a Mediterranean cruise. So they're flying into Athens. They're getting on a cruise ship and they're going to Mykonos, Crete, Santorini, and it's another one.
Oh, yeah, that looks nice. I've seen it. I looked at that.
You should,
Yeah.
yes, Cherie.
But I want a balcony stateroom, and I don't know if I want to spend that much money.
You want to spend that. You want to spend that money because you're gonna go, and if you got to get away, you got to be
But
where.
know I need a house. I can't be spending all this type of money on a solo trip to Greece with my friends.
In a while.
That's not responsible.
I'm just gonna say priorities, but I think you should go. I think you should go.
Come on, Cherie.
I mean, if you can swing it, I mean,
yeah.
Go, Cherie.
But at the same time, don't let us try and talk you into something that you really don't want to do. If you really don't want to go,
do it. I do.
I'm not gonna amen TJ on that one. I'm gonna be the peanut gallery in the background. I'm gonna be that one. That
I'm just saying, if you don't want to go, don't go. But if you want to go, just let this be your sign that you should go. It's your sign, yes.
But I want to listen, y'all. I'm looking up flights. The flights are super expensive too, right? And my bougie butt, my fake bougie butt says, okay, I can't do first class, right? Where they had the recline seat, but I'm gonna do that Comfort Plus.
Well, how are you gonna do it?
I'm gonna do that Comfort Plus because I can't do economy. I'm not doing economy because them seats look horrible for a 10-hour flight.
I can do economy as long as I get like a exit row.
It looks much different. Go on United or even Delta. Their economy or basic looks so much different than like the Comfort Plus or the Comfort. Let me tell you, I don't know. I'm a woman of a certain age now, and sometimes I need comfort over economy.
Absolutely.
Hey, if you need it,
you got time. You said when they go in September?
They going in September.
Oh, you got time to put aside for them flights. You got
Yeah.
time to work
I mean,
on
I
that.
have it though. I have it. It's just I don't know, y'all. I was talking to
I'ma
Simi
mute
about it. I was
you.
like, maybe me and him need to go somewhere, just me and him. Because
Mhm.
we haven't done just a me and him trip since like 2018.
So
So
here you do, right? Go on your trip, and at the end of the trip, wherever they get to where they gonna get, you get off there, have him meet you there, and y'all fly back together.
There you go.
he's not doing that. Have you bet him? He
I
ain't.
actually have. I only once.
Oh, you only met him what? Well, next time you meet him, talk to him. You'll see he ain't that type of man that's gonna do all that.
Well, no, he will meet you there, and
I will say I do have like mom guilt. I have a little bit of mom guilt about leaving her, like, period. So I don't know
Yeah.
that I would, who would I trust to leave her with? And so, yeah, I have a lot of mom guilt, but I have mom guilt walking out the door. And because she's aware that I leave to go, to go to work and stuff like that. That's why every morning I'm tiptoeing out of the house to past
I
her
know
room
that
to get,
feeling.
I don't want to wake her up because she's like, ah. And so,
Yes. And you're gonna
yeah.
hear her say, Mama, Mama, Mama. And
Mama,
that is
mama.
some it's something about that just
It
pulls at
is.
your heart.
It is.
It
It
does.
does. It
And
does.
as
Earl's
a
like, go
mom,
ahead,
you're
go ahead,
going
go ahead,
to.
Sharon. No, I want to, yeah.
Yeah. As a mom, you're gonna feel
Have
mom
you guys
guilt
read this?
in my heart.
In my heart.
Who is it? One of the girls in our group recommended to me. I'm gonna tell you, it made me cry.
I
But
do
it's
remember
the
somebody recommending that to you, but I can't remember who it was.
I want to say it's Ayana, and I know it's not Ayana.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Ayana, but I want to say it was. It made me cry, but it's the same sentiment.
Oh.
It is. So maybe, I'm willing to loan it around.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Well, ladies, it is time for us to say goodnight to the Facebook audience. It is, again, we hope that, what we have said, a whole lot of people was like, amen, like, ooh, it's not just me. Because that was the whole point of this conversation, is to like make somebody feel like you're not on that island by yourself. It's okay. You are going to feel the heartstrings, because if you could get motherhood status like some countries do, we get to stay home with our littles for at least a year and get all of that time. But unfortunately, we don't. And some of us are not a part of the independently wealthy. Everybody lives on a budget of some sort. Some budgets are smaller, some are larger, whatever it is. You have to do what you have to do to make sure that they can eat, have a roof, and clothes. So anything beyond that, honestly, is extra. And so there's a lot, that we have to think about. But mom guilt is real, and you are not in that boat by yourself. If you feel like you want to talk about that more, connect with us. We have our information. You'll see in just a moment in our outro. Hopefully it played, because my internet is doing something. But if you need us, by all means, hello@melodichands.com. We're here to help. If we don't have somebody in our group to do it, I'll be shocked. But we can refer out. And so we do have a clinical psychotherapist that's a part of our group, and she is willing to talk with you. You can see if she accepts your insurance and all of that. And she's really good. And she's a mom with a little, so she understands when it's just exhaustion and when it's a little more than exhaustion. And so if you need us, please, 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 again, reach out. I will say goodnight to you ladies in just a few. I'm going to try to see if this will play. And if not, we're just going to say holla back.